some other state and I live in this state. That's the only thing that's literally separating us. If it wasn't for that, we would be joined at the hip. I'd still want my space because I don't think she wants to do all the same stuff I want to do, you know. She doesn't like all the video games I play. And I don't like all the movies she watches. Some of them are kind of what's the right word? Kind of I don't know, they just give me bad memories. But anyway, that's a story for me to know, for you to never find out. But years of fighting go on, right? So we're like, we get along really well at moments. And when we do, we're like the dynamic duo. We just, whatever we have our mind set to, we get it done and we get it done right. Close to right. But when those moments are gone and that one itch occurs, the itch gets worse and then it turns into a rash and the rash turns into a blister and then then it's just downhill from there. And then all we're doing is bickering the whole time. And I got to a point, and my sister can vouch for me on this, but I got to a point where I was literally just done. I was done. Granted, I was like 17, 18 years old at this point. I was so sick of the fighting. I literally just like overnight got up and was just like, I'm done. I can't have this relationship with someone I love anymore. Can't do it. I'm done. And from that day on, I literally just stopped responding when an argument started to ensue. So she would say something, and it would set me off, and I would just keep to myself, and I would sit there, and I would just let her talk. It took... You would think that would require a lot of self-control, but like I said, I was tired of it. I literally had no energy left to fight because I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be like other people that I knew. I mean, I know people who still hate each other to this day. They love each other as family, they have good moments, they do say the good in each other, but they just can never get along when they're in their same room. I've seen it. And I didn't want that. So, with her kind of trying to rile me up with whatever topic, she told me that for me it was like overnight. She just said, you just changed. She would tell you this too. She's like, he just changed. One day he just didn't care anymore, and he looked at me, and I just realized, wait a minute, it's my fault too. And I looked at her and I go, it was both of us. I was just done. I didn't want that as our relationship. I didn't want to repeat that story over there. That's not how I want to live with you. And I keep saying I want to be there for you, but how can I be there if all we ever do is fight? There's no relationship there. That's just war. And when it's not an active war, it's a cold war. I mean, we never have enough good moments, and I was tired of that. I wanted to have only good memories with her. And so, I don't know, whether I matured overnight, which never is the truth. Never the case with anyone. I just know that one day I was done, and I decided, it just kind of clicked with me. I am just going to let her talk. Take this advice. Just let them talk. Let them get it out of their system. They're literally arguing with themselves at this point. Now, it might take a lot of self-control to just be like... And you might be wanting to, like, blow up on the inside. Just breathe. Sit down. Breathe. Just look at their face. Just let them get it out. Because by the time they finish yelling... or screeching, or just bickering, by the time they're done, you will have completely forgot what the argument was about, so will they, and you can go to sleep because you didn't fight back. And I honestly think that was part of the key to just solving the sibling rivalry. We're not cured. Cured. Sibling rivalry cure for that year, right? No, we still bicker, but nothing like we used to. We're siblings. Of course we're going to find something to argue about. That's what you do. I mean, that's just the way people are. You're never going to agree on everything, but we agree on more things now than we ever did. Because we both grew up, and we both came to the agree to disagree rule. I'm not going to agree with everything she likes or does. She's not going to agree with everything I like and do. But that doesn't mean that we have to hate the person for their decisions or because of who they are. I mean, that's just wrong. So we just stopped. We just grew up. And it happens. It does. You may be 30 or 40 or 50 years old and watching this right now and being like, what are you talking about, kid? Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how old you are. You eventually will grow up in this sense. And you will grow up, they will grow up, whatever, whoever. It doesn't matter who starts. What matters is that if you take the right steps with a relationship between you and your sibling, your dear one, it can be mended. It won't be fixed. It won't be cured. But it can be mended. And that's what you want. You want a mended friendship. You want that relationship with your sibling that we should have with our sibling. They grew up with us. They were there where we were. Hopefully, your sibling was with you all those years. Maybe, hopefully not, depending on the kind of lifestyle that they live. But the point is, to solve the arguments, you just don't take part in them. Let them do it. Be the bigger man, and don't mention it. Don't be like, oh, I was just gonna let you get it out of your system and be the bigger man about this. If you want to start another argument, go for it. But that's my story on how I became best friends with my little sister. We fought for years. We had Cold Wars, we had World Wars, we had, every battle you can imagine between two little kids. But who hasn't? But one day, one of us had to make the call and just not fight back. Just not fight back. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did when I did. And even if I hadn't done it then, I would have done it now. Because I don't like fighting. I hate it. I absolutely hate fighting with people. I am not a fighter by any means. My life choice is to care about people rather than to fight them. So, yeah. There you have it. That is how I became best friends with my little sister. Just stop fighting. But of course, we also had to find things that we could agree on, and that we both found appealing in the other, something that we could relate to. That's what I'm looking for. So I love you so much, little one. Love you, love you, love you. And you may not have watched all my videos, little one, but I hope you do at least watch this one, because this is me telling everyone how I became the world's proudest big brother and how much I love you, and that there is not a single thing on this planet that could take you away from me, that could break us up, because I worked too darn hard to make sure that this relationship went from downhill to uphill. I wanted, to have that bond with the person who grew up with me. I mean, for crying out loud, we grew up together. But, yeah. I hope someday you guys can meet her, because she's kind of the best. So, that's my story. And I hope you enjoyed hearing and listening as much as I did telling. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.